For the past century, the Panama Canal has been a key route for global trade, offering the best path for moving goods between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. However, this might be about to shift. Mexico is on the verge of launching a new initiative called the Interoceanic Corridor of the Isthmus of Tehuantepec, a name that's quite a handful. So what exactly is this project? And could it potentially take over the role of the Panama Canal? Hello and welcome back to Luxury Xplore. Today we'll delve into Mexico's $4.5 billion Panama Canal rival. The Panama Canal. Before diving into Mexico's upcoming project, let's first discuss the Panama Canal. It's one of the most well-known man-made waterways in the world, alongside the Suez Canal. The canal goes through the Isthmus of Panama, a narrow piece of land connecting two larger land areas, linking North America and South America, with the Atlantic Ocean on one side and the Pacific Ocean on the other. This strip of land and the canal itself are both 65 kilometers wide, which is relatively short compared to others. For instance, the Suez Canal is about 3 times longer, and China's Grand Canal is over 20 times longer. Despite its smaller size, the Panama Canal plays a crucial role in global trade. Check out this map of the Americas. Before the Panama Canal was built in 1914, shipping goods from one ocean to the other was a huge hassle. For example, a European ship loaded with goods for California had to navigate all the way down to Chile, pass through the stormy and treacherous Strait of Magellan, and then head back up north. This journey would take a few weeks for the fastest ships, but most took months. It was also risky because of the unpredictable weather and strong currents in the Strait of Magellan. Another option, the Northwest Passage at the top of the Americas, was mostly blocked by ice and not feasible for navigation. In 1902, the United States planned to construct a shipping canal in Central America. This canal would reduce the travel time from the Atlantic to the Pacific to less than 1 day, cutting down the journey by about 12,000 kilometers, which means saving several weeks. Constructing the canal was no small feat. Workers had to blast and dig out over 200 million cubic meters of earth, enough to create a mound 80 times the volume and nearly twice the height of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Essentially, a man-made mountain. The task was made even more challenging by the extreme temperatures, often exceeding 40 degrees Celsius. Tragically, almost 6,000 people died during the construction due to heat stroke, landslides, and diseases. It was a grueling and dangerous project. The Panama Canal project faced several significant engineering hurdles, including a 30-meter height difference between its highest and lowest points. To overcome this, the construction team installed a series of locks and gates to adjust the water's elevation, allowing ships to ascend to the canal's highest point before descending again. The construction of the Panama Canal cost the United States an astonishing $375 million at the time, equivalent to about $12 billion today. Despite these obstacles, the canal opened in August 1914 after 10 years of work, with the SS Ancon being the first ship to navigate through it. In its first year, around 1,000 ships passed through the canal, and this number has only increased. Now, over 10,000 ships use the canal annually, transporting 500 million tons of goods. The toll for passing through the canal, especially for larger ships, can reach up to $500,000. But the cost is justified by the significant time and risk reduction compared to navigating around the Strait of Magellan. This canal has dramatically influenced global trade. However, by 2024, it might face significant competition from a new project. The Tren Interoceanico. The Interoceanic Corridor of Isthmus of Tehuantepec, or the CIIT, stands for the Spanish acronym of its project name, which might seem a bit confusing at first. To get the backstory of the CIIT, we need to go back to the late 19th century, around the same time the US began contemplating the Panama Canal. Interestingly, the US wasn't alone in thinking about ways to connect two major oceans. In 1884, Jose de la Cruz Porfirio Diaz Mori, a significant figure from Oaxaca in southern Mexico, became president. Diaz set out to build a railway from Oaxaca to Veracruz on the northern coast, aiming to link the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and address the same logistical challenges the Panama Canal aimed to solve later on. While not widely known, this railway, called the Tren Interoceanico, was inaugurated in mid-January 1907, a full 7 years before the Panama Canal opened. It quickly became a preferred route for global traders, moving hundreds of thousands of tons of cargo and playing a crucial role in boosting Mexico's economy through international trade. However, the railway's success didn't last long. Once the Panama Canal opened in 1914, most shipping companies switched from using the Mexican railway to the canal, causing a significant drop in cargo transported by the railway, by a third initially and then nearly 80% a year later. Even though the railway was actually quicker than the canal and saved days of travel due to its proximity to America, companies still preferred the canal. The preference for the Panama Canal over the Mexican railway can be attributed to several factors. Many shipping companies were based in the United States and naturally favored an American project. Additionally, a civil war breaking out in Mexico deterred companies due to safety concerns. Logistically, using a direct water route was simpler than transferring cargo to trains. As a result, the drastic reduction in use made the Tren Interoceanico too costly to maintain, leading to its decline and disrepair for the next century until a new, ambitious president took office in Mexico. Mexico's new rail line. In 2018, President López Obrador announced his intentions to revive an old railway line in Mexico, aiming to establish a new trade route between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, which could compete with the Panama Canal. This project, involving three main rail lines named Line Z, Line FA, and Line K, was officially revealed a few months after the announcement. By June 2020, the project, known as the CIIT, was underway, involving extensive work like clearing vegetation, removing old tracks, and laying new ones. This railway is expected to stretch over 1,000 kilometers and will be accompanied by several industrial parks. López Obrador took serious measures to ensure the project's success, including deploying the army in 2023 to take control of a section of the railway previously owned by a private company, promising compensation afterward. This decisive action was taken to prevent any potential obstacles from jeopardizing the entire project due to disagreements with the company. The project has faced oppositions and conflicts, especially from indigenous communities in Oaxaca concerned about its environmental effects, such as deforestation and habitat destruction. There was an incident where a group of protesters, accused of attacking workers with machetes, was temporarily jailed, and there have been cases of forced relocations of local families, sparking controversy. Despite these issues, the general sentiment in the region leans towards the positive, with many believing the project's advantages will surpass its drawbacks. Experts predict that the CIIT could generate 500,000 jobs and draw in $50 billion in international investment, potentially revolutionizing the country's economy. President López Obrador is banking on this outcome. By August 2023, one of the rail lines, Line Z, was completed, and in September, López Obrador took a less than 9-hour train ride across it, proving it was quicker than the Panama Canal route. Before the end of 2023, the railway began serving the public, offering rides from the Atlantic to the Pacific. The completion of the remaining 2 lines is anticipated by the end of 2024. Even with the significant advancements made, there's still more to be done before the CIIT is ready for international shipping. Part of the ongoing efforts includes major updates to the ports at both ends of the trail lines, aimed at accommodating cargo ships better. For instance, a large breakwater is being constructed at Salina Cruise Port, using massive amounts of rock to protect the harbor from storms and strong waves, preventing potential damage to cargo ships. The construction of this protective barrier is not yet complete, but progress suggests it will be finished soon, paving the way for the CIIT to begin handling cargo in the near future. This development leads to an intriguing consideration. What happens to the Panama Canal? Before we dive into that topic, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you like our content, don't forget to subscribe. Now back to our discussion. Some believe the CIIT could offer a more cost-effective and quicker route than the Panama Canal. If this proves true, it could lead businesses to prefer the new Mexican railway for their shipping needs, potentially challenging the canal's dominance, similar to how the canal once overshadowed Mexico's earlier railway project. However, the CIIT is intended to work alongside the Panama Canal, not replace it. Despite its capacity to handle millions of cargo containers annually, the Panama Canal is struggling to meet the growing demand. The situation worsened in 2023 when Panama experienced its driest season ever, prompting restrictions on the number of ships passing through the conserved water, as the canal's operation heavily relies on it. Consequently, only 25 ships could use the canal each day, significantly fewer than usual, causing a scramble among companies to secure passage and leaving many ships waiting for their turn. The CIIT could offer a much-needed alternative to the Panama Canal, easing its current strain and providing companies with another route for their shipments, especially when the canal is overburdened. This new route could improve the reliability of shipping, ensuring goods reach their destinations on time. For example, the water shortages in Panama that disrupted deliveries before Christmas wouldn't have been an issue if the CIIT were operational. Together, the CIIT and the Panama Canal could boost global trade by allowing more goods to flow between the Atlantic and Pacific. As stated by a Mexican official in 2023, this project is about connecting the world, not just Mexico. In 2014, efforts were made to develop another canal in Nicaragua as an alternative to the Panama route, but the project was abandoned in 2015 due to a financial crisis. Additionally, the Northwest Passage, previously impassable due to ice, is becoming navigable thanks to global warming, offering yet another potential route for ships. It's clear that the dynamics of trade across the Pacific and Atlantic are poised for significant changes. What are your thoughts about Mexico's latest mega project? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.